through turn 5, second gear. You'll just click one more gear now, third, through turn number 6. This is where the Ducati in the past might have suffered with a lack of turning. And of course, with that new aero package, Pecco Bagnaia saying yesterday, he feels that, oh, somebody's down in the background. That's one of the with you Yamahas, I think, it's Darren Binder. That's a shame because Binder had found a whole chunk of time, as we mentioned. He goes careering off then. He's on his feet quickly, but Binder's gone down into turn 7. So Jorge Martin then, a 1:34.71 means he's taken over top spot from Marquez by just over 500ths. Into turn 12, and then Bastianini wringing the neck of that year-old Ducati, isn't he there? Coming under pressure here, Martin behind him. These two, of course, had a great fight for that second factory Ducati seat, didn't they? Alongside Pecco Bagnaia in 2022. You can see the latest in the fight for that seat, the second part of the fight for the factory Ducati seat, a documentary done behind the scenes by our team here at MotoGP.com. It's been released here this weekend. Now that Martin still leads the way, there was no improvement there for the beast. He's the man in the danger zone. A 1:37.90, his best time of the weekend so far set this morning. That's keeping him just in that top 10.
Speaking about Anaya getting the job and Jorge not, I don't think it's a bad thing. And as we see Bagnaia flying, he's finishing off his third sector. I don't think it's a bad thing, Matt. Meaning, if you're a Martin supporter, I think it's going to be really hard, like it is for all the factory boys, to cope with the pressure in the main team.
Yeah, we can see there Aleix Espargaro, he was looking to slot in behind Pecco Bagnaia there. That's exactly what he did. The Aprilia man needs a reference here. He's decided to latch on to the back of the 63 factory Ducati. Bagnaia hard on the brakes then into this tight first gear, 70 km/h final corner, picks the bike up, guns the acceleration now, then out of the final corner. Pecco Bagnaia just getting that rear tyre up to temperature now as he tries to improve at a 1:37.46. Martin's great lap has pushed Bagnaia down to 7th place. We pick up Martin's teammate now, Johan Zarco. He goes up into 7th, so the only two men in the top 19 that have found time compared this morning are the Prima Prama Ducatis of Martin and Zarco, 1st and 7th respectively.
Quite interesting. If people that like the tech side, is this man on screen, Johan Zarco, has completely different chassis than all of the other Ducatis. He's obviously doing the development work for Ducati. I saw them first at Misano, a chassis I did see a year before at Misano, similar shape. Apparently it's not exactly the same, but has carbon fibre supports on the side. I'm pretty sure they're mucking around with some sort of flexibility, and that helps it can change a direction and turning.
Well, Pecco Bagnaia was desperate for a full dry day of track action here in Burma. That's exactly what he's getting, and he is making it count here. Look at that, through the 3rd sector, Pecco Bagnaia goes. Just out of your picture, we're on board there with Aleix Espargaro, is this man who's towing Aleix Espargaro around to a pretty good lap time. Aleix Espargaro desperately trying to go here with Bagnaia. He's a couple of tenths down on the Italian, who snakes the rear of that factory Ducati into turn number 12. Luca Marini's putting together another good lap as well. Yellow flags are out in sector 3. How crucial could that be? Bagnaia on that short run to the finish line finds a 1:30.299. A little stroke of the beard there from Gigi Dall'Igna. He liked that one, didn't he? Bagnaia then moves nearly 0.2 of a second clearer than Jorge Martin. Ducati's 1 and 2. Marc Marquez still in 3rd place. It's another crash in that session then for Cal Crutchlow. Turn 7 has been cruel, been not very kind to the with Yamaha team, and that one looks like a big one for Cal Crutchlow. He's really angry with himself. The marshals come over just to check on the 36-year-old British rider. His teammate Darren Binder had gone down into turn 7. The rear just snapping sideways there, Simon. That was a nasty one for Crutchlow. He gets a bit of a whack from the rear of the bike as well there.
Matt, to exit there, I mean, to crash there is really quite odd, you know, with the electronic safety nets we've got now. Normally you don't see crashes there because of that. I wonder if there was something wrong, you know, a glitch electronically.
Yeah, that was a nasty one, a painful one to watch for Cal Crutchlow. That's been the first big crash he's had since returning to action, replacing Andrea Dovizioso. Now, of course, the yellow flags are still out in sector 3, so this is going to have a big influence potentially on the late lap times here. Pecco Bagnaia probably won't need to worry about that, because that 1:32.99, surely that's going to get him directly or a place provisionally into that second qualifying test. You can see there Marc Marquez just activating that rear ride-height device. How low did that Repsol squat coming out the first corner? He tried to get the drive down that 1,000 metre straight. Now hard on the brakes into turn number 3. Directly behind Marquez is Miguel Oliveira. He had a good ride last weekend in Japan. 5th place, the Portuguese rider. So there were the yellow flags, and you can see there the marshals retrieving Cal Crutchlow's bike. So that train that came through there involving Marquez, Miller, Oliveira, they'd have all had those lap times scrubbed off. Jack Miller's got his head down again on this final lap. So has Marquez. Those two are riding together, aren't they, on circuit right now. Johann Zarco now takes over the top. Another brilliant late attack by the Ducati man. He gets down to 132.81. So Bagnaia just over 100th further back. Who's missing out towards the end of the session? Well, Enea Bastianini certainly is. The Beast has already taken the checkered flag. He's 11th, so he will not be having a provisional place in Q2 then. Now Bastianini will be hoping it's a dry FP3 tomorrow morning. Cal Crutchlow's 2 crash in this session will cost him a provisional spot in that top 10. Miller on the inside of Nakagami's replacement, Nagashima. He gets in far too hot there, does the Australian. I don't think it's going to hurt Miller's chance of getting into Q2 as it stands right now. Miller 6. Oliveira does go up to 8th place. There's not been any sort of, well, a lot of riders are going to miss out here late on, Simon. Just wonder whether there's perhaps not a lot of rubber laid down, or well, I guess it might be yellow flags. Late yellow flags have cost so many riders here, because in that top 10, Marquez, Quartararo, Miller, Rins and Morbidelli have not improved their lap times. There was Miller and Marquez wide in that final corner. Miller was trying to lunge on the inside of Nagashima.
Yeah, I'd say Jack had to do it rather than wait behind Nagashima and then couldn't, finish the turn properly. Here we go, we're going to see it. Yeah. And then blew it when he knew he was on a good lap.
Yeah, because he'd been worried at that stage there, Miller, wondering if he was out of the top 10 because of the late yellow flags. It hasn't cost him. It may well have done, though, because the yellow flags clearly had a big influence at the end of that session. We knew that Marquez, Miller and Oliveira were troubled by that late yellow flag for the Crutchlow high side at turn 7. As it stands, though, no problem for Johann Zarco. The top 3 men in that session did improve their pace. Zarco, Bagnaia and Martin making a Ducati lockout out of the top 3. Those trio covered by just under 0.2 of a second. Marquez then slips back to 4th. Quartararo and Miller, your top 6. They didn't improve their lap times. And Leighton Spargo, well, behind Pecco Bagnaia late on, he found a 138.92, but not good enough. 13th, he'll be badly needing a dry FP3 tomorrow morning.